when we had to defend ourselves. When something happens, or when we getting ready to experience some sort of like danger, or any red flags may pop up, our body has a sensor. Our sensor is our chakra system. And so when something in our intuition, so when something is not right and it doesn't feel good, our body automatically goes into like this what do they call it, flight or fight mode or whatever. And it's like you get into survival mode, right? You get into survivor mode, like, okay, what do I have to do? You know what I'm saying? And that's where you're on a psyche level. That's where it clicks in up here, your defense mechanism, and you do whatever you have to do at that time. But just imagine a person living their life with those defense mechanisms all the way up until their adulthood, 30, 40, 50 years. And that's all they known. Throughout their life, they have created self-sabotage, because those sensors do not work anymore. Those defense mechanisms do not work anymore. They're outdated. And so this is like, listen, the best way I can explain it, our body and everything that is connected to us needs update, just like a phone. You know how we collect data, our experiences are data that we collect. Um, what else? External, dealing with different people, places, and things. That's our data, and we internalize things which we're not supposed to. And this is another thing that we do, and that can cause damage to us. That's just like a phone. When you have a phone and all you do is take pictures and download stuff, download. After a while, that phone is going to have full storage on it. And I know, because I had to go get another phone recently because my phone was tapped out, right? So, um, and after it has full storage, things begin to go haywire. Stuff don't work the same anymore. It's the same thing with us. When we deal with different experiences, deal with different things, and we're not able to release that data, then here comes, we begin to act in different ways that is chaotic, and that's is going to be a detriment to us, right? And so you have to be able to reset and release, just like the phone. Think of yourself as a phone, or we have the same components, right? You have to be able to release things and not internalize them, because if you internalize them, that can cause sickness. It can cause mental illness. You know what I'm saying? It can cause something that's happening on a physical level in your body. You know what I'm saying? This is why people, they have heart problems, and um what is it, digestive problems and things of that nature, because it's like a blockage. So you have to be able to release certain things, and that's the same thing. You have to be able to upgrade who you are, right? You have to be able to upgrade your thoughts. You have to upgrade the way you see things. When you're gaining different wisdom and different knowledge, you have to be able to upgrade it. Wisdom and knowledge is infinite. It's never ending. It's always what it is. Just, it's always improving. And so we have to do the same thing. We have to keep up with what's happening on a current basis. And this is where, when we think about success and how people want to go, so it's like the world is surrounded by wanting to be successful and wanting to be, I guess, adored in some sort of way, or like validated, or whatever. So when you think about that, you think about, um everything is backwards. Everything has been taught backwards. Everything that looks, or everything that has been told to us that is evil is really good, and everything that has been told to us is good is really not good. So everything has been taught in like reverse. So when you think about wealth, when you think about success, society, and there's a driving force behind that, makes you feel like you have to go outside of yourself in order to achieve those things, and you really don't. You have to understand that you have the wealth inside of you already. This is why we are spiritual beings. We're just having a human experience. We're already powerful people. We're already connected to source. So when you think about having to go to school, having to go to pass different exams, different boards, different tests, it's like, and when you don't pass those certain boards, it's like a rites of passage. Just think about like a school here in physical form. It's the same thing, in spirituality, and on a spiritual level, like how you have to pass a test. You have to pass a test here in physical form. You have to pass one on a esoteric level too, right? And so when you do that, it's like you're going to gain, you're going to pay, deal with the lesson, deal with all of the material, apply that lesson. I mean, apply that material, and then it's like, okay, source is going to test you to see what have you learned. What are you applying it to? You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's the same thing at school. So, but at school is limited. Here, physical form is limitations. Physically or spiritually, it's like it's never ending though. And this is where when we go through the school of life, the knowledge increases. It doesn't stay the same. When you go to school and go learn a subject, I mean, they have different, modifications and stuff where they revise and, they add, they take away, whatever. But the knowledge, the school of life is associated with spirituality, spiritual level, spiritual base, fourth and fifth dimension base, and higher. You know what I'm saying? And so it's infinite. It never stops. It never ends. It just, you know, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, new cycles, new different things, new energies. It's the same cycle, but it's like it's ascension. You know what I'm saying? It never stops. It never stopped growing. So the same thing with us. You know, imagine you read that. Imagine you have a book that you read, and you've been reading that book for 30 years. You may read that book for 30 years, but each time you read that book, or each time you just read a page from that book, you're going to experience something new. This is because we move on a spiritual base, in and out of things. Now we may be I'm here talking on a physical form, but on a fifth dimension, I could be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I could be somewhere else. This is what happens to us when we dream. We have lucid dreams. We're laying down, right? But we are traveling on a spiritual level. And so everything is moving, but because, we have solid, gas, liquid, we were taught that at school, right? Um, the more you add to something, the heavier it gets. And so it seems like it's not moving, but it really is moving. We're really moving, but it's at a slow play. It's at a slow pace, right? And so it seems like we're not, but we really are. But that's just physical form. I'm talking about on a astral level, how we are able to have outer body experiences but our body is in one spot. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep. But I just want to tie all of that into um, how we have to get down to the root of things. Everything, when you look at something, it has different, deeper meanings to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's always the fact. There's half truths out here. There are manipulated truth, false details, you know, but just on a soul level, our soul knows the truth. Our soul knows everything. And this is why it's really important when we get in tune with our soul and we get in tune with our higher self. It's like there's nothing else that can operate your physical being, because we have soul, but yet we have spirits out here too. And that, let me go back to what I was saying about how our energies of deceit, shame, guilt, that takes on a whole nother form and body and shape and spirit too. So you may not be acting out of your true nature, which may be love, which is love, but you are acting out of a nature of insecurity, of shame and guilt and sadness, sorrow. So this is and the result of it is the karma that you are experiencing. And that goes even back further to what I was saying about the past, present, and the future. But once you get a hold of what's going on the inside of you and you're able to figure out your purpose, then you will become successful because you're on your path. Success doesn't has anything to do with money. The wealth has everything to do with your abundance and your birthright, but money is a man-made. Your soul is connected to source. So there's a huge difference. And so when you think about um money, and let me just say this, there's nothing wrong with having money. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having physical things, beautiful things. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand the meaning behind it first. Then you're able to say, oh, now I get it. I need to be wealthy with myself internally first. Then I'm able to attract. And this is where the law of attraction come into play. When you vibrate high, when you shift your energy, when you shift the way you think, the way you speak, what you tell yourself, what you eat, even with our foods, obviously things are processed, and the whole GMO, everything is made with just false different components that can do us harm, great harm, and later on in life and all of that stuff. But once you everything has its place without, let me just say this, everything has its place without the without the opposing energies, we wouldn't have what we need to move forward. We wouldn't have that knowledge that we need. So we need, like I said, everything has its place. Everything has its place, whether it's seen good or bad, wrong or right, everything has its place. That's just like, without any criminals, we wouldn't need any officers. We wouldn't need any cops. Without people doing things that they ain't got no business doing, we wouldn't need no court systems and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it is corrupted, things are changing though. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it's important for us to get on our path, because we can be those people in positions to say, you know what, no, there's has to be a balance. We're not going to do the whole corruption idea, how things were done before. And this is the reason why things are the way they are now. So it's time for a brand new energy. It's time for a new birth of, like, these babies are children. They're gods and goddesses already. It's time for them to be it's time for them to be, because they already know everything, trust me. They just relearning everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's time for them to be, and even us to be, in positions to where we are correcting things, we are resetting things, you know what I'm saying? We are redoing things over. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go back to school, go to school. If you want to go back and do whatever it is that you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, right now, the times that we are living in, are we on our path? We out here looking for the bag, but if we get on our path, the bag will come to us. I'm not saying that you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. Hell, you might be. Universe may bless you, hell, with $1 million lottery ticket, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. But it's it's great to understand things on a spiritual level, and it's great to understand things on a physical level, because once you do that, you're like, oh, the blindfold is off. Now I can see everything ain't what it seemed to be, and everything that what it seemed to be and is not. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of get to myself, work on myself, get truthful with myself, be authentic with myself, start working on my gifts, start working on my talents. Then that's when the wealth will come. That's your road to success. Not out here trying to go work for somebody, miss all your time with your kids, miss all the time working on who you are, distracted from your children, distracted from what's going on with them, and what's going on inside of you, and you can't work on your gifts because you too busy at work, and then you got to go pick up a second job over here to do this and do that. If you just learn your power, and not saying, again, it is a process. I'm not telling you to just get up and go leave your job. No, I'm saying for you to get to yourself and understand who you are, because you can take the time out each day. You can journal, you can write, you can meditate, get back centered, and things will begin to change. You can become that. And once you get on your path, once you surrender and then get on your path, it's like everything will begin to change. You will begin to attract the things that you need, because you have set yourself in a high vibration to do so. Our vibration is everything, and this is why I practice gratitude, having gratitude, being appreciative of the things that I have and the things that are around me. Right? Am I a millionaire? Physical form? No. Astral? Yes. We are abundant. You know what I'm saying? Am I fully rich here on earth? No, it's not seen. And this is where it comes into play. Our lineage and our our legacy is not seen here. It's not here. Some people it is here. Let me just, you know what I'm saying, just to add contrast. You have some people, but how did you get it? That's a whole nother video, because that's going all the way back to slavery time. The country's built on, our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Where's that wealth? It's so I could go deeper into that, but I'm not. But just to throw it out there, the inventions, the work, you know what I'm saying? The army, we had men in the armies, and this is why I have a problem with just a little quick rant. I have a problem with people um saying, oh, you go back to your own country and you go back to this. Oh, aren't we there? Our people fought, our ancestors fought in the wars. Are you joking? Black people aren't patriarchal, or I mean, what does they call it? Uh, y'all know what I'm trying to say. And it's the flag this and the flag that. First of all, our ancestors fought when they were made to fight. They were made to fight in the wars. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just a whole nother video, and I'm gonna say that for another video. But um, just getting back to identifying with who you are, not on an external level, but internal, and digging deep. This is how you find self love, true self love, authentic self love. It's a practice. When you go to the doctor, don't they call it practice? Practitioner practices. We all are practitioners in some form. We all are scientists in some form. Okay, because we all have everything that we need inside of us, but we just have to identify with that. And then once we identify with that, we're able to take those proper steps. We're able to heal. We're able to continue to heal because we never stop healing from the things that we've experienced. Yes, trauma, yes, but it has prepared us, and we're warriors. It has prepared us to fight those battles on an esoteric level when we need to fight against those opposing energies that's going to come. And let me tell y'all something, we're being spiritually attacked every day, but you have to learn who you are. Are you owning your magic? Are you in control of who you are? You can't control nobody else, but you can control who you are. So if you learn who you are and begin to unlock those was hidden, was laying dormant, once you begin to practice self-love, you are able to unlock different areas of your life. You are able to activation, DNA codes. Come on. DNA codes. We are DNA coded with power. Yes. We are DNA coded with power. What you mean? Your soul has information. You guys listen to me. Your soul has information. Higher source has information. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. It's not supposed to. Just know that your soul has information. Ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, power, keys on an energetic level. You know what I'm saying? So our past lives. Let's talk about that real quick. Our past lives. Who are we in our past lives? And let me just say this, with when you think about astrology and how, okay, you know, you have your sun sign, and then you go through the houses and um of your the makeup of your natal chart. Whatever you have mastered here, or whatever you have mastered in the past life, this is how you know, this is how you can kind of decipher how or what you was about in your past life, or what you have to deal with, even your karma here. Because we are born with certain gifts and talents and things, that's because we have mastered them in a past life. And so we can't have it all figured out. So we come here again, we reincarnate again to come back and to finish up our karma, pick up different new skills and new different talents, and live out through those. We've been here thousands of years upon eons because we are a part of the collective. We are creation. Creation has always been here, and so have we. And so when you think about that, and when you put that into philosophy, it's absolutely amazing because it's a whole nother world. You think we're just here on planet Earth and that's just planet Earth? There's many different life forms out here. But you have to be understanding of who you are in this life form so you're able to work past whatever that you need to work past. And it doesn't stop because even after we transition on and go to the higher realms, we still have work to do. It's nonstop. Our ancestors still working. They're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so let's talk about real quick demonic entities and what they are. I kind of touched on it before, with the whole defense mechanism and all of that in the first video and how they take on a different life form and all of that. But even on a demonic level, listen, a demon is nothing more, and I'm just using it in Western terms, language, English language, but a demon is nothing more than a stuck energy. It's like, you ever heard the term the ghosts come back because they have to work to do. They have to finish. They have unfinished business. Same thing with the demon. They have been. It's a stuck energy, and they may have passed on and still had that same energy. So they're lost. They're stuck. They don't know where to go. This is for the people that have been here before and have had the opportunity to get on their path, but they didn't get on their path, and so that's the karma that they're living in, and it could be on a esoteric level. So it's really deep when you really sit down and really think about what we are and what we are a part of. It's amazing. It's deep. It's unknown. It's hidden. But that's the beauty of it because we're not supposed to know everything. We come back here to relearn things, but and it's like deja vu. Have you ever been somewhere you like, okay, we all experienced some form of deja vu, right? You probably experienced that thousands of years ago. And you're like, I know I've seen this before. That's because you probably have. People have had dreams about them being different places. It's been documented too, actually. It was a document about this little boy. He said that he was up in heaven. People remember these things. People can remember when they're inside of their mother's womb, and you may question. You be like, well, how did you remember when you was inside your mother's womb? Because I can't tell you that you didn't believe that you believe that or that you know about that. Who am I to tell you that? Only you know what you experience, and this is why you have to know who you are, because can't no one tell you what you are experiencing. Can't nobody tell you what you are experiencing. And so I'm gonna go deeper. um I should have did a live because my phone get ready to um click off again. But I just wanted to give you guys some information. And again, I'm going to be doing more videos surrounding just different topics because we need to have those discussions because we are already 6-7 months past in 2019 going into 2020. There's a lot of things that are getting ready to take place. We are all experiencing this on a higher level. And it's time for us to tap into who we are. It's time for us to really gain that knowledge and wisdom. So, with great power come great responsibility. You have a lot of people that want to get involved with the power and get involved with the magic and get involved with just that whole world. But it's like, are you ready? Do you even know what that's about? Are you going to abuse your power? Are you going to use your powers for good? So you have to really think about that. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great night.